folks in and get the settings all straight. So we are doing the Dzogchen Town Hall today with Lama Surya Das. My name is Kevin. I'll be hosting for the day with Menla. Just a couple of announcements to get us started. Let me screen share here. Thanks to everyone who was able to sign up for the retreat with Lama Surya Das and Krishna Das last weekend. And upcoming here, we have a master class in a weekend or two to check out on the website, as well as a one-day virtual retreat at the end of April. All the information at dzogchen.org. So go ahead and check out that if you would like. And without further ado, I would like to introduce the main event. Lama Surya Das, when you're ready.
Da 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 da. Good morning, everybody, everyone. Kevin says, yes, it's good to be together these days, if not entirely one, and at one with all that's going on. Let's have a moment of silence, of noble solitude, alone together, including all in our sterling aspirations and intentions and our spiritual practices today, especially the beleaguered people of the Ukraine and nearby suffering, and all those who are similarly suffering in the world, and all the refugees, underdogs, downtrodden, St. Peter's, everybody joining hands and hearts and minds, one in spirit, heart, and soul. Thank you. Ah, how sweet it is to have arrived at last. Thank you, Lord Buddha. Thank you. What a gift, what a miracle. Just to breathe, just to awaken in the morning, just to meet together like this or in any other way. In these uncertain, challenging days. Just sitting, just breathing, just relaxing, breathe, relax, and smile, as I like to say. Natural meditation, undo the habit of overdoing it. Letting go. Letting go means letting come and go, letting be as it is. Radical acceptance, letting be as it is, embracing all. The late great Zen master of Vietnam, Thich Nhat Hanh, peace activist, poet Thich Nhat Hanh said, yes, the world is full of suffering, but we can embrace the suffering joyfully. We don't wish anyone to suffer, but not hiding from it either, like ostriches, not falling into denial or escapism. Just sitting, breathing, awareful, mindful, attentive, incandescently present, lucidly awake and aware. What words can F the ineffable, express the inexpressible? And yet, Here it is, here and now. Nowness, isness, ence, beingness, nowness, awareness, the authentic, unfabricated, natural Buddha within. Imaho, wondrous, isn't it? Amazeful, delighting. Hallelujah. Eureka, swaha. Imaho is the shortest Dzogchen teaching. It means wonderment, wondrous, amazing, grateful, yes. Savoring and appreciating what's given this present moment. Savoring and appreciating 3/4 of the glass that's full, not just missing and complaining about the half that's empty. Natural body, natural breath and energy, natural heart, mind, the 3 naturals of natural meditation, Dzogchen meditation, Tregchud, cutting through, seeing through, just being through, Tregchud, seeing through, being through, truly, through and through with it all, expecting nothing, no expectations, no appointments, no disappointments, as a wise guy once said. This is it. To arrive at last, nothing more to do, figure out, study, carry around, achieve, collect, travel for. The natural, great perfection, completeness, wholeness of things just as they are. The right person in the right place at the right time, in the right natural grape confection, so ripe, so sweet. What a relief to put it all down and just enjoy the view, seeing things as they are. Awareness alone, present awareness, naked awareness, just sitting, just breathing, just mindfully aware. The 3 principles, the 3 pillars of natural meditation. This breath, only breath, this moment, only moment. Imaho. Enjoy the joy of Contemplation, of Imaho. The innocent wonder of the little Buddha within, with no preconceptions. Amazing. Wonderment, as Longchenpa calls it. Yes. Positive Buddhism. What a relief, what a release. To arrive last. The Sabbath, the day of rest. How beyond action and beyond inaction, the sublime Dharma is accomplished, is realized. Move away, natural flow, way to go. Let it go. Enjoy the zone. Natural flow flowing through us right now. The stream of consciousness, the river of experience, enlivening us. Imaho. Thank you. Ah, 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 releasing, emptying yourself, the less of me, the more room for thee. Emptying oneself like a bubble turned inside out in the sea from which it's never been a part. Imaho, see through yourself and be free. Up to the wisdom of allowing, of letting go, letting be. Simply observing the arising, dissolving of all phenomena and noumena, mind stuff. In the great phantasmagoria, the movie, the sitcom, the dreamlike nature of reality. Like a dream, like a mirage, like a rainbow, like a fantasy, like echoes. Letting go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hong, 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 hong. The five wisdom hungs as a tune up. Hong, for spacing out a doll. Hong, 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 hunging out, hunging in there. Hong, 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 hong. From the lower belly, from the heart, opening and releasing. Hong, 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 hong. And for the last time, let's really do it. Hong, 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 hong. Empty yourself completely. Dropping all reference points, going gaga, beyond meditation into non-meditation, on meditation, being, not doing. Don't make meditation one more set of mental calisthenics, one more karma creating activity. Stepping off the treadmill of causation, of karma, of cause and effect, temporarily, beyond past, present, and future, where karma obtains, resting in the fourth time, the fourth fraction, the nowness, the ascendant time, not horizontal time, the divine time. How sweet it is. Just isness, being. Move away, beyond action, beyond inaction. Just being, not doing, striving, accumulating. The Tao says loss upon loss until at last comes rest. When nothing is done, nothing is left undone. Oh, mani padme hum. 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 Mantra of Chenrezi. Oh, mani padme hum. Oh, mani padme hum. Dalai Lama's mantra of unconditional love and compassion. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. The Mani Mantra, six syllable mantra. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 We are the place where the light shines through. We are near to one, not two. The light, our higher power needs us. Where and as we am, we need not think, nor fear, nor hesitate, nor plan. When we can be relaxed, simple, free, they'll work their plan of love and illumination through me. Imaho. Kevin, could we see the four boundless, the four Brahma Viharas, Bodhisattva Prayer in the Dzogchen Center prayer book, please? At the bottom of the page, that will have to do. The four Bodhisattva vows from the Japanese Mahayana tradition. Please join in as you feel. Sentient beings are numberless. We vow to liberate them. Delusions are inexhaustible. We vow to transcend them. Dharma teachings are boundless. We vow to realize them. The Buddha's enlightened way is unsurpassable. We vow to embody it. Another prayer or two, Kevin. Here's a good one. The four immeasurables. May all beings possess happiness and the root of happiness, which is virtue. May all beings be free from suffering and the inner causes of suffering, which is non-virtue. May all beings remain undivided from the sacred joy, which is free from suffering and confusion. May all beings come to rest in great peace and equanimity, beyond attachment and aversion to those close to us and strangers. Bless and empower us that our minds and hearts turn toward this liberating Dharma. Bless and empower us that our Dharma practice becomes one with the true path of awakening. Bless and empower us that the path truly dispels confusion, delusion. Bless and empower us that Confucian itself dawns as primordial wisdom. That even karmas and kaleshas arise as wisdom display in the light of gnosis, of awareness, of wisdom. And may we all together complete this marvelous spiritual journey together for the betterment of one and all. Om Shanti, peace, harmony, tolerance, Shanti, acceptance, peace, patience, Shanti, peace. I bow to the Buddha, the divine, the light, the gods and goddesses, however you conceive it in your seat. Don't overlook them. What a beautiful day. Sunday, the day of the sun, of the light. You know, the sun god, the sun was the first object of worship of humanity, they tell us. I like that. Anyway, the light, yes, that's what it's all about, lightening up and enlightening up. And as teachers say, lighting the lamps of others. How beautiful is that? And what parent doesn't know what we're talking about? You don't have to be a formal paid teacher to understand what that's all about. Being there for the other more than oneself, especially the youngers of any age, the less fortunate, the underdog, the marginalized, those who ask for need help, which includes us. None of us are above or beyond that, I assure you. So these days, trying to see how we can help and what we can do, and being bold, intelligent, courageous, generous, persevering, collaborative, and also seeing what we can change for the better, being accepting, and tolerant, and patient. All things change, it might change. And try to be able to tell the difference between where we can make a meaningful difference and where we can't, what we just have to accept, pray for, embrace, even if it seems unwanted. Who knows in the bigger picture? A rainy day ain't a bad day for the farmers. It's only for the sunbathers and parade lovers. And things change. So cultivating the Dzogchen principles of non-attachment, of great acceptance, of one taste. When we say enjoying, it doesn't mean liking suffering, liking misery and conflict in the world, but appreciating there are causes and conditions, and then work with those and get better results. These things don't just happen by accident. Trying to see what the causes and origins are in ourselves and in the world. Most of us don't know that much about what's going on in other parts of the world, yet we have such strong opinions and reactions about it. And the news, as we see it today, ain't necessarily the best source for finding out what's really going on or what's gone on for the last decades, generations, and centuries. So if we're interested, we could look a little deeper and broader. I can't remember if I shared this with you. We're still having virtual retreats. We had our annual spring retreat last weekend online, and we have other things coming up, master class and other things that were announced that are put in the chat room. You know what they are. You can look them up. They're also on social media, I believe. Does anybody remember, did I tell the modern Lama tale of us meditating on one Sunday afternoon with Anam Tubten online, the Tibetan Dzogchen master who lives in outside Berkeley, who comes from Tibet, who speaks English. I think he has a meditation, a teaching every Sunday afternoon online. And so I was at my friend Anasuya's house. Does it sound familiar, Menla? You shake your head, Leslie, anybody? Did I tell this story? And we were meditating away, after he made some remarks, we were meditating away for like a house on fire. Some of my old friends from India days and their kids, grown kids. And we were all like experienced retreatants and meditators. So after about a half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, we started to wonder and look at each other and what's going on? Was the Lama asleep or dead or what? He hasn't moved in at least 45 minutes or an hour, not to mention said anything. And then Anasuya, who is so real and authentic and just herself and no nonsense. She's like thought, like the kid child in The Emperor Has No Clothes. She touched the computer screen to see what was going on and it was frozen. He was long gone. So here we are. I mean, we seem to be here, but it's like the stars in the sky. We only see the light, but those stars, the light left those stars many light years ago. They might not be there anymore. Who knows? Which comes back to us. Who do we think we are? How long ago did we form up that opinion? Maybe we're sitting there in front of a mirror looking at ourselves that are frozen in time from a few days ago or years ago, relationships ago, lifetimes ago, who knows? Still feeling like, I don't know what, whatever from your childhood or your youth. Who do we think we are? What are we stuck with? Maybe we could check the screen, reboot, refresh. I'm sure there's some commands on here that could re-enlighten. Yes, look into the Dzogchen tradition. Eric Schmidt took Origin Rinpoche talking through his translation in English about re-enlightenment. Buddha nature already perfect and pure from the beginning, but we need to be re-enlightened, not just wait for enlightenment. Anyway, check it out. So if we can notice our frozenness, our habits, our dazedness, just staring at the screen, perhaps there I am with my eyes open and my nose open and my mouth open, like staring at my friend Anam-Tip Rinpoche on the screen, who's not even there, but digging, meditating with him, and dissolved in one mind. He's frozen, I'm frozen. We're all like woolly mammoths, frozen in attachment and fixation, rather than in the flow. The ever-flowing flow, the great flow, the Tao, the impermanence, time and space, so relative, our own perceptions, experience, interpretations, so subjective. Check it out. What you think might feel frozen in time, you could reboot, refresh. I'm trying to look at my computer here. Maybe I need to re-glass so I can see. Oh, you're not even there. Talking into the air here reminds me when I used to be on the radio sometimes, like in the middle of the night at midnight or 4 a.m. on the Gary Knoll show. He used to be a great expert on health foods and vitamins in the 60s and 70s before it became so popular. And we were in the dark in a radio studio in Midtown Manhattan, and I felt like we're talking, we're having a great talk, we're broadcasting out. It was a good station, had a great broadcast, what's it called, circumference, outreach, whatever it is, territory. And I thought, but everybody's asleep. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. What the hell are we doing? Talking into the darkness and being proud of ourselves and like stroking each other. It was pretty funny. Anyway, perhaps some of you can relate or not. We had a nice meditation. So I'm going to open the floor now to questions instead of just rabbiting on. I can see that some of you, have a lot to say and a lot to think about here. And you don't need me to be joking and poking around here in the muck. Right, Bob? Thank you. How are you, Dory? Glad to hear good news from your operation. Thank you very much. Our love and prayers are with you. Anybody, any questions, please?
We have a question here, Lama. From Ben, how can we be less intellectual, serious, and heavy-minded?
Oh, you're asking the wrong person, Ben. You should ask Menla or Bob Schmidt for that matter. I'm just looking around. I mean, anybody here would be better to ask them than me. But since you asked me, I'm on the spot here. I have the talking stick, haha. I'm sure you've heard me say this. If it wasn't for my Bhakti Guru Nimkaroli Baba and devotional practices and chanting and service and a more emotional devotional path of karma yoga and bhakti, love and devotion. I'd probably be a dried out Buddhist translator or scholar or something, academic maybe. But I think you have to find a well-rounded, spiritual life. Doesn't mean everybody has to be eclectic or everybody has to do everything. Excuse me. But, some people play more than one musical instrument. Some people work more than one genre or field or art form. Spiritually also, it's good to have some practices that really nourish and enliven and feed and deepen the heart and soul, not just fall into the Western Buddhist lingo that has the word mind in every sentence: mind, mindfulness, consciousness, awareness, wisdom, and so forth, important as those things are. So balancing wisdom, jnana, path, jnana, wisdom, development, awareness, cultivation, philosophy, knowledge, path, with devotion, bhakti, gratitude, humility, cultivating humility and good works and devotion and service and loving your neighbor and, seeing the other, yourself in them and them in you. So you relate to them naturally as you would have your beloved child be related to, and so on. The golden rule. So I hope that's helpful. And of course, one could say, maybe don't fall into the fallacy of being a bookstore Buddhist. I mean, if you could find a bookstore. We used to have bookstore Buddhists that were in the bookstore reading, having piles of, Buddhist books around them, reading them. But that's kind of a joke. But you know what I'm talking about. There's an old Zen story where somebody's old mother came and berated her son, who had been a monk for 30 years, and saying, better that you had brought some children and grandchildren into the world than walk around China carrying all those dusty books on your back. I didn't raise you to be an encyclopedia. This is a spiritual life. It's about love and joy and balance and harmony and service and community. Not religious scholarship, not comparative religion. So you could think about those things and see how it applies to yourself. The path of heart, as well as with wisdom and awareness. And embodied also. We shouldn't leave that out, the body, the yoga, the energy. I mean, if I have to reduce it to something we know how to do every day, exercise, things like that, health, balancing sleep. So I hope that's helpful. Balance. Buddha taught the middle way, and I call it the way of balance, not the way of moderation. Balance and appropriateness. Not all or nothing. Not always, never. Questions, please. We have anything else, Kevin?
We do. There's a question here from Jason. Can one reach continual contemplation without receiving transmissions?
Sure. Of course, one might very well wonder, as many people in the room might be wondering, what do you mean by continuous contemplation? But sure. And what do you mean by transmission? You mean transmission from someone else? Jigme Lingpa got it from Longchenpa, but Longchenpa was dead 300 years ago. So maybe he got it from the source through his devotion to his, visual, imagined lineage master guru of Longchenpa. See what I'm saying? On the other hand, we might say, who is without this birthright of natural transmission? That we all come from the source, that we all have, our embodied living spirit. Do we have to get that from somebody else? Or is it, you're thinking of it more like a membership card that the boss or the institution can give you? Or a zap that you think like a guru can give you, like a lightning bolt, like an experience? And one reason I'm kind of pounding on this is just, it seems to me it's such a mistake to think that we need to get it from someone else. Of course, no one can do it alone, and we need help, as even the Dalai Lama says. But it doesn't, the next question is, well, if you can't get to whatever you want to call it, you call it continuous contemplation. So I'm not going to go into that right now. If you can't get to where you're aspiring to get without getting something from someone else, look for help. But still, in the end, the mirror of the guru or the introducer, the transmitter, the preceptor, it's a mirror reflecting your own inner guru or highest self, which is what you awaken to. So, as the Zen master said, when with true mind-to-mind, this is a quote, don't worry about the words, with true mind-to-mind transmission, nothing is transmitted that wasn't there before. And yet maybe something is highlighted or, activated, or I know these are just words, but if we were going to have some back and forth, we could clarify more what your question really is. Anyway, don't put it off until somebody can give it to you. Don't think that the gurus we talk about here are dead. Some are still alive, by the way, in every way in this world, and some are gone. And don't overlook it yourself. As Ram Dass used to say, people look for God everywhere except in the last place they look, and where that can be found, which is in oneself, or in one's heart, or in one's inner spirit and ens. I'm going to translate that as ens. Your being, your inner spirit, the luminosity. Do we have time for another question, Kevin, or does Menla want to come on and make some jokes and tell some stories?
I think we're going to wrap up, but let's all thank and appreciate Lama for these amazing teachings and this
thank you.
Wonderful time we have. They're so dear and so appreciated. Menla, do you want to take us out?
Sure. I want to thank you for joining us today. And if you've enjoyed this session with Lama today, I want to encourage you to go to our website to keep informed. Kevin put that in the chat for you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Lama's weekly words of wisdom, because then you'll also get what's happening with the organization on a weekly basis. And I'd like you to remember that when you make a donation, whether it's dana or membership to the Dzogchen Foundation, you're ensuring the continuation of this precious legacy for future generations, not just Lama's teachings, but those of the many Dzogchen masters who have walked before him and with him. So please consider donating. I thank you for being here today. We look forward to seeing you again next week, and have a wonderful day. And thank you, Lama. Always great to have you.
You're very welcome. And thank you, you lovely Menla, and all of you. Be well. Take care. Stay healthy and well.